Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Now, a day after Rahul Gandhi was booked in connection with a scuffle on the parliament premises, now what we are getting to hear is that apparently the police will is all likely to record his statement along with the statement of the two MPs, that is Pratap Sarangi and Mukesh Rajput. And Rahul Gandhi may be called in for questioning. There are also reports that Delhi police is all likely to visit the parliament secretariat for seeking the footage, the CCTV footage, and the officers may also consider transferring the case to the crime branch. Now, as we all know, what are the sections which have been imposed on Rahul Gandhi? That is section 115, which is voluntary causing hurt, 117, which is voluntary causing grievous hurt, section 125, which is act of endangering life or personal safety of others. But the manner in which this entire episode of the parliament scuffle has played out, one is wondering how far will it really go? And can there be a stringent action against Rahul Gandhi? If at all there is a possibility, even if it is far fetched, can he be convicted? And can his MP status then be revoked, just like what happened after the Surat court order? Joining me now is veteran Supreme Court lawyer Sanjay Hegde with us. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. We have Girish Joshi, a veteran journalist and political commentators. Thank you so much for joining. And I'll begin with Mr. Hegde, that the kind of sections which have been imposed on Rahul Gandhi, do you think that this is a case made out of nothing, or can there be some serious consequences because of the sections which have been imposed on him?
Well, causing grievous hurt, you could possibly be serious enough, because ultimately, as you said, the bar for disqualification is where you are convicted for 2 years or more.
Yes.
So if that old game is being played, then we are jumping the gun, really. Right now, we do not know whether the investigation will result in a charge sheet or not. But if you are going to go several steps ahead, there is a charge sheet. Thereafter, there is a trial which is not injuncted by the courts in any manner. You must remember that the National Herald case, it was filed with a huge tom-tomming, and it's been over a decade. So if at the end there is a conviction and there is imprisonment for more than 2 years, then yes, there is a threat of disqualification. But whether the process can be fast forwarded, I have my very serious doubts.
But the very fact that section 117 carries an imprisonment up to 7 years, so do you think that these underground models by which you implicate a person, and which we have seen in the past that government has tried to adopt many tactics, do you think that there could be, even if the possibility is too far-fetched and it's a long way still to go, but then out of this particular case which has been made out, do you see even a remote possibility of trapping Rahul Gandhi to that extent?
Well, if somebody is determined to trap a political opponent, then things can be done. There was a very famous instance in Tamil politics where after Jayalalitha was sent to jail after her first term, then apparently there was a vow that one day she would put the other side, that is Karunanidhi, in jail. And so if you remember those days of the Vajpayee government, when there were all those videos of Mr. Karunanidhi being bodily lifted by Tamil Nadu policemen and being taken to jail. These things are not unknown in Indian politics at the state level, but they have so far not been resorted to at the central level. In fact, there is, I think it was Mr. Arun Jaitley who called it the Delhi consensus, that at least as far as the actual persons and their children were concerned, while all kinds of cases are filed, there is no actual imprisonment. but there's always a first time for everything.
Right. One more question to you, sir, and then I'll go to Girish. That what we are getting to know is that the Nagaland MP, uh, her name is Fangon Konyak, who's a woman MP from Nagaland, and she had accused misbehavior by the leader of the opposition, Rahul Gandhi. And now I think National Commission of Women today has asked the authorities to take action in this matter and underline that these incidents set a dangerous precedent. Now, how serious can this really uh, get? Now the very fact that NCW is also writing on this, obviously, it looks like the snowballing of the situation, but can it really take a serious turn? Now, she being a tribal woman MP. Now, is there a possibility that he could be trapped under the SCST Act? Many people are talking about that. That who knows, he could be implicated under that act. So, do you see the possibility of that?
Again, speculative. The point that there is an SCST woman who is a complainant can be used possibly to make out a complaint, but under the SCST Act, there are a lot of cases which of documented misuse which have come up before the courts, and the courts have not hesitated to strike down such proceedings, especially if they appear to be activated by malice or motive. Again, this particular thing seems to be premature. The SCST Act itself, invoking the SCST Act would possibly, in the current situations, be seen as diverting attention from all that has happened in Parliament with regard to Dr. Ambedkar. I doubt that things will come to that pass.
Right. Okay. So, Girish, what do you really make of the situation today? Also, there were a lot of protests in Parliament, starting from the Vijay Chowk. Speaker had banned any sort of protest at Makar Dwar, which is the main entrance of the Parliament. And then there were a lot of protests in the morning, and after which the Parliament closed down and the curtains have fallen down now as far as the winter session is concerned. Now, do you think that this Ambedkar controversy has really stuck very, very badly on BJP? Now, given the fact that many people have started talking about the thing that, within the BJP, there are certain sections of people who say that do not take this Ambedkar controversy too far because it's not tenable. Like Yogi, like Gadkari, like Fadnavis. So do you think that, there could be an attempt by the BJP to dilute the whole thing, somehow hush up the matter? Or do you think that Amit Shah can still go further?
Nilu, in politics, always 1 + 1 is never 2. You will have to see into a wider perspective why these things are being done. The only thing is they don't want Parliament to run because they will have many questions for which they don't have the answers. First thing is that. Secondly, the infight. It's very evident. Live media or somebody doesn't discuss. If you go to social media, many small players do really come out with the facts. What has happened in the last voting? Nitin Gadkari was able to manage 20 MPs from both the sides, and he showed the strength that he is there, he's still existing. Then RSS dissatisfaction. The Maharashtrian lobby, which has been doing they have kept on a tender hook both Ajit Pawar and Shinde. So really now what happens? If they are able to work very hard, they can prove that this Gujarati lobby or this upper caste lobby is totally neglecting the people from the OBCs and backward class and everything. Adivasis are always there. Jharkhand happening, after Delhi happening. So there are many things coming in. So possibly they would have found out a cheaper way. I will tell you, I know the place where there were no Hindu-Muslim riots or no riot. There was never a section 144 implied. Suddenly, for some reason, one man, a drunk man, goes to Baba Ambedkar statue and removes his specs and runs away. First time there was 144 because you were not able to understand. Then when they took hold of the person, he had no intentions, but that thing went a long way. So they very well know that you can disturb the whole society by doing this. 24th, Congress is declaring that they are going for an all India agitation for this and to put for their opinion. Now, let us see what things are happening. So first thing, basically Amit Shah has come as a savior to Modi for not attending the parliament and answering. Now they want, if they cannot convince, they confuse. That is the regular theory. Now, as you say, Assam case, what is happening to Brij Bhushan Saran Singh? There are practically video messages and complaints. Nothing is happening. So if they deliberately want to do this, but these sections, Hegde Saab is here, I think he will agree to this. In 2014, the Supreme Court had clearly said that even in the jail sentence of 7 years, arrest is not mandatory. They can get the bail. So it's not so easy they will book him out. And now handing over, because under this 117 and 115, 125, the police officer has got wide powers to go and arrest a person without a warrant. That has not happened till. So obviously they are also on a back foot, and they very well know that doing this, if you remember Lalu had said, जब मैं जेल में रहता हूं तब मैं बड़ी margin से जीत जाता हूं. So this is public opinion. So they won't take that risk, but they are trying to, actually fear Priyanka Gandhi now, because now forefront Priyanka Gandhi coming, and there are a lot of limitations with the way they were acting against Rahul. There come the restrictions. Now they can't do all what calling names and everything against Priyanka. So that forceful thing, and to get out of all this was the best way to do. Tell something to Ambedkar. Finally, what happens is either he is removed from the post, or he is transferred, or he would come and say sorry. I don't know. That is not in their blood, but ultimately what happens. But this damage is now going very far. This damage is going very far.
But Girish, to speculate about any of the possibilities that he is going to resign or he'll say sorry, the possibility looks very, very remote. The way the government is trying to brazen out this whole issue, and I'm told that the speaker is trying to go through the CCTV footage and somehow nitpick that at least they get one frame where Rahul Gandhi is visible, but they haven't been able to lay their hands on any of the frames as far as the shots in those CCTV are concerned. So what happens now? Now the demand for the CCTV footage is getting louder. Yesterday, a lot of Congress leaders had placed this demand. Today, also, a lot of them have spoken about the fact that when the bundle of notes was discovered under Abhishek Manu Singhvi's chair inside Rajya Sabha, since then they have been asking the CCTV footage. Till date, nobody has bothered to respond as far as the CCTV footage of that particular incident is concerned. Now, this particular instance, what has happened in the parliament premises, but outside the house, I don't know whether they will be at all sharing the CCTV footage. And if they at all do, would there be a possibility they could manipulate as well?
What is the option with the opposition? They are not going to answer anything. They've already diluted RTI. You don't get reply in anything. If you ask question in parliament, they will counter question you, or they will create a ruckus over that. So you can't expect that. But giving the matter to investigation team, I think they are trying to dilute the matter now. Because unless they get the proof, and obviously Supreme Court is there, they can quash FIR and everything. Even they have got a team of lawyers and everything. It is not so easy to just put Rahul Gandhi behind bars and say that what we have done. This is going to go against them, that they know. The first purpose of derailing the parliament process, they have succeeded in that. And there are many tensions working behind the scene, where we are only discussing what is on the floor. See, there are a lot of messages coming from RSS in Nagpur, things happening in Nagpur. Gadkari is now literally coming on the floor to say that I am still there. Because now, if you see some of the very popular YouTubers, they've already discussed this matter, that now, of late, even Mohan Bhagwat is understanding that they have hijacked even the RSS, not only BJP. This is the biggest fear for the existence of RSS. So definitely there is going to be some more movement there. If RSS allows them to hijack, then it is the D-Day for them. And I don't think this big an organization would take such a risk. So whatever they have done, there is no comment on RSS. That means that, at least Mohan Bhagwat would immediately speak out on something. Ambedkar, now he is in a fix. Neither is able to say something in favor of Amit Shah or against Amit Shah. So a lot of things are getting complicated. Opposition should now only concentrate to keep this matter alive and gather the public opinion.
Right. So, but you're saying that the government is trying to dilute it. The very fact that the police has asked for the CCTV footage and all of that. So you see BJP putting the matter in a deep freeze from their end. Is that what you're saying?
This is a very common practice in Gujarat when we have seen. Whenever they want to pressurize somebody, they would give it to CID crime. They would take their own time. Then they will file the report because CID crime is not going to immediately arrest and put somebody behind the bar. Then it goes to the Home Ministry. Then they will decide what is to be done. So handing over the CID in Gujarat was only to pressurize, and the person on the other side knew that now there is not a strict action coming. But when the matter is settled, that case, CID is able to file the papers only when they get the order from their boss, what should be the outcome of that case. So this is the same modus operandi that they were doing in Gujarat. Now it is in Delhi. So now if CID will investigate on their own. They will submit the report, ask for the CC cameras. That has been approved. It's a parliament matter, not a civilian matter that they can just go and confiscate the document. So this is going to happen. This is a time pass. They wanted to create a thing that is done. But this has definitely misfired because inadvertently they have just thrown a stone. Mud smuggling that they have done is for the SCST backward class because they underestimated the power of Ambedkar and his followers.
I'll come to you, Hegde, sir. That how do you see this Ambedkar Rao playing out? I mean, Amit Shah gives a speech in Parliament. He adds a lot of things on his own. I don't know whether it was part of the speech. Everybody is saying, but that 11 seconds clip where he says Ambedkar, 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 इतनी बार भगवान का नाम लिया होता तो 7 बार आप स्वर्ग चले गए होते. Now, the tone and the tenor of that clip very, very clearly showed that it was a deliberately made comment to irritate the opposition or to rub them wrongly. But how would the way it is playing out politically within Parliament and outside for the last 2 days, what everybody has seen, what would you really say to this controversy which is playing out? As a lawyer, how would you see this? You'll have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
See, he said something more. He said, "Aajkal fashion chala aa raha hai."
Yeah.
Now, that is where the value statement is. That Ambedkar is a mere fashion, which means that it will come and go. What he doesn't realize is that there is a passion. That what Dr. Ambedkar and the framers of the Constitution did was something really revolutionary. In our society, which is focused on duty, karmanye vadukaraste, and you don't get any, you're not supposed to expect anything in return. And with stratified Chaturvarna, where you can only be reborn into a higher caste. The idea that men and women can have rights, and those are so fundamental that nobody can take them away, is nothing short of a revolution. It is for good reason that those who believe in the old thinking have always been uncomfortable with the modernist view of the Constitution. You must remember that the RSS opposed the Constitution when it was brought in, saying that there is nothing Indian in it. In fact, there were even people within the Constituent Assembly who were in the Congress but who had rightist sympathies, who said we expected the music of a veena or a sitar, but we got the music of an English band. So the idea that you have rights is, at least in the traditional worldview that the RSS and its followers propagate, is a Western import. And to some extent, they may be historically right. It was when Thomas Paine's book, The Rights of Man, translated into Marathi, fell into the hands of Jyotiba Phule, that the first kind of revolution in thought began. That people who were from castes which were traditionally not expected to be learned could go, demand rights, could have their learning protected. That was revolutionary. And from Fule's movement, and the fact that Dr. Ambedkar was the son of somebody who had served in the army. His father had served in the army, and there in the army there was a certain amount of equalization. Coming back into the social construct of his times, which has not changed greatly even today. We may not have that level of outright discrimination, but there are continual attempts to impose it. You must remember that Dr. Ambedkar's tank satyagraha at Chowdar also started in 1925. So when we are celebrating, when some people want to celebrate the 100th year of the RSS, there is another centenary that might also equally be celebrated.
Absolutely, that's an important point. But
this is to my mind. I mean, what can we see? I have sometimes a historical perspective. We are looking at a time when there is a counter revolution which is being sought to be imposed after the revolution of the Constitution. Whether the Constitution will succeed or the counter revolution, that is the question.
But Agnes, one last point, and then I'll take the concluding comments from Girish, that looking at Rahul Gandhi's case and the sections which have been imposed, do you think that the Delhi police or Home Minister Amit Shah can really take this case too far?
They have tried to draw a line or in the sand that, okay, we are doing this. But whether they can carry it to any logical conclusion, I have my doubts. This is just trying to have a death by 1,000 cuts, have an FIR here, have another FIR there, and keep the man busy in various court yatras, so that there is no Bharat Jodo Yatra or some other yatra of that kind. That may be the game.
Yeah. All right. So, Girish, what would you really say towards the end?
Nilu, so when you push somebody behind the wall, you definitely expect a very big retaliation. If you remember, after all this happening, Dr. Ambedkar had a second idea in his mind that what happens to my patterns if somebody like RSS tomorrow takes up the government. 1956, 14th of October, he converted to Buddhism along with 365,000 of his followers. This message recently, the same thing happened by 1.5 lakh people in Nagpur also in last November. So if they convert to Buddhism, and he very well justified that Buddhism is a sect where there is no upper caste and lower caste. Now tomorrow if everybody turns out to Buddhism, and now the world scenario looking at Buddhism has also changed. If you see, it's little away from the subject, but China is literally now trying to inculcate the world that, this is a very big, even Afghanistan has told that you did a mistake by breaking Buddhian statue, because that is the big spot of tourism. And today they have realized that all the countries will have to promote tourism to remain afloat. So these all things if happen, suddenly if all SCSTs and these people get frustrated and they said that, okay, now it's war 1-to-1. So this will be 15% versus 85%. This is the danger that we have to look forward.
So we'll have to wait and watch how this.
Just one correction. Yes. Sorry. This was a correction on fact. The Chowdar Tank Satyagraha is 1927. So it will be 100 years in 27, not 25. 25 is the.
Okay. So we'll have to wait and watch how this controversy plays out, and all eyes are now on Congress's big rally, which they are planning in Belgaum. That is on 26th. 26th, they have an extended CWC meeting, and after which is going to be followed by a big rally in Belgaum. So we'll have to wait how this entire movement plays out. As of now, Kharge has already announced that there's going to be a nationwide movement on this, and several parts of the country already have seen a lot of protests playing out on this Ambedkar controversy. Thank you so much, Mr. Sanjay Hegde, for joining. Girish, it was wonderful having you on the program. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.